welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for giving me another shot at entertaining you today. But if you are new, make sure you click the subscribe button because I would greatly appreciate it if you chose to become a part of our growing family over here. We are trying to get to 10K. I know we're gonna get there and I would love it if you helped contribute to us get there. So if you guys would like to do that, definitely click the subscribe button. I just got done filming a video with Mark that will probably go up or after this one, I'm not entirely sure. And I thought about filming something else and just like chatting with you guys, another chat video. I love doing these where we just like sit down and just like chill and talk. I know that a lot of you guys really like videos like this as well. I thought we needed a little bit of a coronavirus lockdown update video. I did Get Ready With Me a couple weeks ago, I think it was now, where we kind of talked about things a lot and like how everything was looking, how I was feeling and stuff like that. And I thought I would like talk about how I'm feeling now, and it could be kind of like an update video. I don't know. I feel like it could be something to look back on. I've seen people say stuff about how people are using like lockdown and quarantine and the coronavirus and stuff as like clickbait, but for me personally, talking about this stuff like online is like documenting something that is going to be a part of history, which is really insane, honestly, to think about and to imagine that what we're currently going through and like the situation at hand is something that is going to be a part of history. It's going to be something that we're like telling like our grandkids about, you know what I mean? And I just never personally thought that I would go through, that any of us would go through something like this in my lifetime. And it's not something I feel like any of us were prepared for. And I feel like that's why everything's just been kind of like a mess and everyone's like having a difficult time dealing with it. And clearly like we weren't prepared for something like this. Otherwise things wouldn't have been such a mess like they were. But like I was saying, I feel like the situation is something that we're all gonna look back on one day and be like, wow, like that was crazy. And I feel like sitting down and talking about like our thoughts and stuff like this and like documenting how we're feeling could be something to look back on and be like, wow, like we really went through that and that's really what it was like. So I don't view these things as clickbait. I actually really like that people have been talking about it. What I was feeling when all of this started was like, it was just gonna be like another one of those things where it dwindles out and goes away and doesn't get as bad as people are saying. Like that was like my initial thought. And I think maybe like a lot of us were feeling that way too. Like we were feeling like this is so bad, but it's not gonna affect us. Like it's not gonna get into our neighborhood. It's not gonna get into our cities, into our towns and stuff like that. Like we feel like a lot of times these things are like, we're untouchable to them. You know what I mean? Like we never expect that we're going to actually be living through something like that. I can't even really remember what the moment was where I realized that this is actually directly affecting me and my family and the people around me. And now it's at this place where like you leave your house and you can see that everything's different. Mark and I have not been going anywhere, but we have gone for a couple drives. And we were driving around town the other day. I talked about this a little bit, and we drove down by the parks and there's like caution tape all on the parks, all on the skate park and everything like that, so you can't use any of the stuff. And then we drove by our Walmart because they're only letting in like, I think it's 20 people at a time or something like that. And there's like caution tape all over that. And for like Walmart and what our Walmart looks like normally, which is always insanely packed and crowded, there was like hardly anybody there. And seeing something like that is really weird. You like drive around and like all the businesses are closed down. There's restaurants and stuff that are open, but like you can't go and eat in them, and everything just looks so incredibly dead. And it is such a weird feeling to like actually physically see it. And it was crazy because him and I were kind of like feeling like really cooped up, and we decided to like go for a drive just to like chill out and like, I don't know, get some fresh air, but like also not do anything that would be dangerous or could cause us to get sick or anything like that. It really just made me feel even shittier by going out and seeing everything, because I was like, this is not normal. Like this isn't normal life. This is completely different than anything that I've ever experienced before. And is it the worst thing I've ever experienced? No. I mean, I'm completely healthy. Everyone I love is completely healthy and will continue to be healthy. So it obviously could be worse. It's like we're all just so cooped up, and it's like my mom is having a little Easter thing with everyone that lives with her because my sister had moved back in with my parents with her girls. They're all gonna be over there for Easter, and Mark and I obviously aren't gonna go because we want to limit the places that we go so that we don't end up getting sick. And even though I know my parents are fine and everything like that, you know, my dad still has to go to work and stuff like that. We don't get to spend Easter with our family. me. Stuff like that is when I realized like how bad this sucks. And like I talked about this a little bit. I don't go that many places. You know, I was going to the gym like 4 nights a week. We would do things with friends and we would go see my family and stuff like that. But like I don't really have like this massive list of things that I do on a day-to-day basis where I'm leaving my house. I don't have a 9-to-5 job that I leave my house and go to. Like I work from home. I didn't think that it was going to be something that affected me as bad as it did, but the longer we're in it, the more I realize that I'm starting to get used to seeing no one that I love, not getting to go anywhere, and that it feels like it's this like impending doom where your life is just going to forever be in your house and you're never gonna get to go do anything ever again or see your family or anything like that. If you're being safe in the situation, then that means you're not going to anybody's houses and hanging out and stuff like that. That's what we're doing. So it feels like this situation like took my family and friends from me and is preventing me from being able to see the people that I love. It's incredibly upsetting, but we're gonna do everything that we have to do to make sure that, you know, everyone is safe and that like no one gets this and that we don't spread it or get it ourselves and spread it to anyone else. I think when I really, like it really hit me how bad this was on Monday, because Mark, who, if you guys are unaware, is my fiance, he got furloughed from his job. And basically what that means is that they didn't fire everyone, but what they did was they basically gave them 0 hours of work until further notice. So technically they're still employed by them, but they're not getting any work by them until this stuff is over. So basically Apple just gave everyone 0 hours at this job and they're just not getting paid for any work and they don't have any work, which I understand because with what they do, it's not considered an essential thing. Like Apple products, they're not essential. If you work with Apple, what you're doing is not considered essential. It's not important in a time like this. So we did kind of expect that it was gonna happen. He does have his job once all this is over, but until it's over, he has no job. That was really scary to hear. Like I cried, I was really overwhelmed. The night before, like Mark only got like 3 hours of sleep because he heard that he had like a 30-minute meeting and there was no other work planned for that week. So he was like, he kind of like knew that it was coming, you know what I mean? But like actually hearing it and then being like, this is fucking real, it's really overwhelming. And then, you know, we're having to like make like phone calls towards like the mortgage and like credit cards and stuff. And also I'm not saying like, oh, poor us. I know a lot of people are going through the same thing right now. Like I know this is not just us. I'm just talking about what it's been like for us right now. His school loan is like they're suspending his payments on it, but it's still accruing interest, which is like ridiculous. I don't know. I just don't know how like during like a pandemic that what we're currently going through, where everybody in the entire world is struggling with the same thing, that you think it's a favor for someone to like suspend their payments but also accrue interest. Like don't let it accrue interest. It's nobody's fault that they can't pay for it. Like people are losing their job because of a virus that is killing people. And then like also the bank that our mortgage is through, like this was just craziness to me. They're allowing you to suspend your mortgage payments for up to 3 months. But then it says in like this fine print little detail that after 3 months that you have to pay the remaining balance. Like you can't just get out of it. And so like we had to call and like wait forever to get a hold of the bank. So I'm assuming a shit ton of people were calling about their mortgages, like trying to like figure out like how the fuck they're gonna pay 3 months worth of their mortgage payment like at the end of 3 months. And basically the guy at the bank said that they would work with people on it, but it's like, what does that entail? It's scary not knowing like what the actual effects of all this shit is. Do you know what I mean? Like in 3 months, are they gonna come for us for like $3 grand? I know so many people are going through the same thing. And that's the thing, the only thing that makes it better in a way. It's like bittersweet, but it's like because of the fact that like other people understand and other people are going through the stuff that we are, it's like you don't feel alone, and most people are pretty understanding. But at the same time, you don't want anybody else to be like scared, not knowing what's in the future. I've done like a pretty good job at distracting myself as much as possible and trying to just like be normal, but it's hard because nothing feels normal. Talk about our house situation just a little bit. For those of you that don't know, I purchased this house August of 2018, and we had an inspector. We had all the correct people come in to check it and everything like that. But the sellers lied on paper, withholding information that the house floods, and it doesn't flood a little bit. Like when I say flood, I mean water comes through the entire house. My back doors inside of my house, on my cabinets, I've seen it up this high. It floods really bad. Like basically water just drains into here, and they lied about it. And we've had a lot of issues because of that. Obviously, like our house being flooded, our belongings being ruined, black mold, like literally like the wood in the house rotting. Like it's absolutely horrendous. Like the foundation underneath the house is literally sinking. It's just this big whole thing. We were looking into suing the sellers for lying to us about it. We were talking to lawyers, and which is incredibly stressful, incredibly scary. It's like one of the most adult things I've ever done in my life. And we were gonna sue them because of the fact that they lied and we don't have the money to fix the problem. And we're basically like now in this house with this $100,000 plus loan, and then like we have a house that floods and we can't like pay to fix the fucking bullshit with it. So we were gonna sue them because what they did was wrong. It's nothing that I would have ever done. They lived here for such a long time, and to do that is just gross to me. But basically, like our lawyer told us that the seller could file bankruptcy, and if she filed bankruptcy, we wouldn't get any money from it. We would get absolutely nothing to help us fix this house, but then we would also have like a shit ton of lawyer fees. So he advised us not to go through with it. We're at this place now where basically our only option that we can look into is doing a short sale to get out of this house, which would basically mean that like we would sell the house for less than what we paid for it, but the bank would have to approve of whatever that number is that someone was willing to pay, which under the conditions would be way less than what we paid for it. The bank would have to approve it, and if they did, we could get out of the house. I mean, there would be like credit dings and stuff like that, but to be honest with you, we will take credit dings over our mental health being fucked with, you know what I mean? And so far, it's only been like 4 months into the year and we've already had it come in like once or twice, but also last year, May, was when it was the worst. Like right after our cat Callie died, we had the worst flood that we've had. And it was really, really scary and very traumatizing to see. Like I had the worst panic attack. Oh my God, you guys have no idea. It was so bad. So I'm really anxious for next month because I know that last year that was when the rain was the worst. And then we get this wonderful news that in this part of the United States is where like the rain is gonna be like one step down from the worst this spring. So I'm just anticipating that because it's been kind of quiet. It hasn't been that bad. And like I told you guys this in a previous video, but like I went out into my backyard and I was like duct taping the outside of like where the water comes in with like waterproof duct tape. Like I know it's not gonna prevent it completely, but hoping it would help not come in as bad or take a little bit longer before it comes in. And then we also got like a bunch of like quick dams and put them up back there, doing everything that we possibly can, like while we're in here to like prevent it. And I know that like a lot of people are probably overhearing me talk about it. That's why I have tried not to talk about it that much, but it's something that I feel like our lives are kind of on hold until we get out of here, because it's always in the back of our head that a rainstorm could come. That kind of prevents you from living your life, because I like to keep my surroundings nice looking. I like to keep them clean. I like to keep them decorated. Basically, we take so many steps to fix the problem, but when you have one step and then that didn't work, and then you try another thing and that didn't work, and another thing and that didn't work, you're constantly trying something new and then just waiting until it rains again to see if it works. Do you know what I mean? So there's always like this anticipation of, well, when it rains again, we'll find out if that works. But you can't leave anything out. You have to go pick up your entire house and like stack your furniture, get anything up off the floor that could be ruined, and just say rip to your floors, you know what I mean? I am really traumatized from home buying because I learned in this situation, if you've never bought a house before, this could probably be helpful to you. There is nothing in protection for home buyers. If anything, there's more protecting the seller than the home buyer. So it's easier to be a scammy, shitty seller than it is to be the person who bought the scammy, shitty house. And it's just not right. Like my mom actually told me, she's like, you need to go to like a news station with this, because this is something that like needs to change. I'm obviously not gonna get on the news and like preach about this stuff because it's just not what I wanna be doing with my life or my time, but it fucking sucks. Like I wish someone told me that once you buy that house, nothing is protecting you if they're lying about anything. And I don't know if I would ever be able to buy a house again. I know that in the future, if we purchase a home, like I'm going to be going to the house when it rains to see like what it looks like before we buy it. It's crazy. Every time I've talked about the flooding, like I've had people mention, did you try this? Did you try this? And every single thing someone has suggested, we have tried. So it's kind of at this place where it's like a loss. Mentally, I kissed this house goodbye already. It's just physically getting out of it that I'm anticipating. This bothers me so bad, but like if you're unaware, right after we moved in here, 2 of our cats died. One of them died literally 2 weeks after we moved in. I had her my whole life and she passed away. And then another one died that next May. But my first cat that died, her name was Bailey. We ended up burying her in this backyard. Like, we had just moved here. We thought we were gonna be here a while, and we buried her in the backyard. That is a problem. Like, the backyard needs dirt removed out of it. It needs more pipes and drains installed into it to prevent it from flooding. Otherwise, no one will ever be able to live in this house again because it will be unlivable under the conditions that it's under with the amount of water that comes in. And all I can keep thinking about is when we move, is someone gonna dig her up? That makes me so sick. It's something that's really hard to think about, but it's something I have to think about it. Like, what are the fucking odds that like we buy a house that floods really bad, my cat dies, and then I bury her in the yard that's the problem? And it's like, you start to look at everything and you feel like every single possible thing that you could think of that could go wrong in a situation has. And I mean, I'm sure there's like other things that could go wrong, but it's just mind-boggling that we hit so many roadblocks. We hit so many problems. But I will say that a pro out of everything from this year, like, we learned who is there for us. And I think that's something that's really, really important to remember. The people that are in your circle and that care about you and that check on you and ask how you're doing. That's something that I feel like we learned from this. That's like a really big one. But it also like really taught me that life is like really fucking short. Like, do not waste it on situations and in places that make you unhappy. I would really, really love to move like closer to the ocean, like in the West Coast area. But like, will we be able to move there? I don't know. I mean, it's so expensive. And I mean, I guess if things like pick up with like my Etsy business and with YouTube and stuff like that, it would be definitely something that would be possible. Mark has like friends in like San Diego and stuff, and he used to live there, loves the area. I really like the area too. It's really beautiful over there. But if we ever are able to actually like move that way, I'm gonna be vlogging all the fucking time. Like, I'm gonna be vlogging everywhere and everything. I'm gonna be living my best fucking life, and that's just the tea. When we bought this house, I realized that this just isn't the life for me. It's not the life for us. I think that the hardest thing with like moving is like moving away from the people that you love and that you care about. And I think that's the thing that's like the most difficult. You always have to do the thing that makes you the most happy and that is the best for you and the person that you're with. I'm turning 30 this August, and I am really scared to have kids in my 30s. I don't want any complications, and I know that it's not too old to have children and stuff like that, but I'm like really scared of it. Obviously I want to be a mom, but the longer I've waited to be a mom, the more I'm scared of being a mom, because I'm like, I have waited for so long that now it's really gonna change my life whenever we choose to have a child. And like, that is something that stresses me out so bad, because like when we moved here, we talked about starting a family when I was 30, which is in August. But because of the living situation and what's going on in our lives and how this completely flipped everything upside down and made us question everything that we were doing, we literally can't start a family like at all this year. And I mean, I'm glad now, because with this whole coronavirus situation, I would hate to be pregnant right now or have a baby. I would just have like extra stress. And I'm sure some of you guys are going through that, and I fucking feel for you. I cannot imagine what it would be like going to the hospital during all this. Oh my God, like, it stresses me out just to think about it. It sucks when you like get in a situation that could have been avoided had other people been honest, that literally prevents you from moving forward in your life the way that you wanted to. Like, there's some people out there that are totally irresponsible when it comes to like having kids, and they don't think about their situations, their finances, like what they're actually bringing a child into. You know what I mean? They don't think about it. I mean, sometimes mistakes happen, but I'm talking about the people that like purposefully have kids in like shitty as fuck situations. They don't think about like, you're putting another living being in this toxic, unhealthy situation, which we would never do. And another thing, like, I really wanted a dog. I've actually heard when women like get baby fever really bad, they also get like puppy fever. Like, it just goes hand in hand. Like, they just need like a baby something, you know what I mean? But I also like really wanted a dog. But that's another thing. We don't want to bring another dog, or not another dog, we don't even have one, but we don't want to bring a dog in this situation, you know? It's like everything is on hold until further notice, and it is the most annoying thing, because it could have been prevented had other people not been so shitty. Yeah, there's people who care about you, but like, a lot of people who don't know you don't give a flying fuck how you feel. They don't care how you feel or how something affects you. They're just thinking about their own damn self, you know what I mean? The realities of it is that a house that looked super cute and looked like the perfect house to, I don't know, start our lives in was fucking fake as fuck, and it wasn't what we thought that it was. I have seen people throw shade about me on the internet, by the way, for talking about all of my problems that we have like on the internet. This is my outlet. It's like my diary sometimes when I do these chat videos and I talk to you guys, to get on here and to document points in my life and to share them with you guys. I have friends I've met from YouTube from being personal and being personal with you guys and sharing things with you guys. Also, keep in mind, does not affect me or bother me whatsoever when people throw shade like that. When people throw shade, like, why are you like sharing your entire life on the internet to the whole world? Like, be an adult and deal with it type thing. And it's like, this is a big part of my life. YouTube is something that is a part of my life. This is something that's you might be watching it and judging everything I'm doing on here, but it is a big part of my life, and it's something that has been important to me for a very long time. It has done a lot for me. It has changed my life. Honestly, it genuinely has. I share these things because it makes me feel better. It's very therapeutic for me. There are a lot of very understanding people out there, but it's like there are people out there that have been helping us through this situation, and also it can help other people be aware. And it's like, it's my life, and this is my channel. It's something that is important to me. It's my pride and joy. I have made the decision, the conscious decision, to share so much of me on here and what's going on in my world. And to be honest with you, the older that I'm getting, and especially now with this COVID-19 thing that happened, I have gotten into this mode in my life where I do not give a fuck anymore what anybody thinks about me. I just do not give a fuck. And maybe I will in a week, because I did a couple months ago, you know what I mean? But I just all of a sudden, like when this coronavirus thing happened, just realized I don't give a fuck about stupid shit anymore, because there's always opinions, there's always a difference in opinions, and there's always people that are very opinionated and want to share their opinions with you. The grand scheme of things, it doesn't fucking matter. And I'm done caring. Like, I'm done sweating it and wondering like if everyone's okay with my life choices or not, or if I said the right thing or did the right thing. Like, I used to get stressed out at the thought of like what I would make my title or thumbnail on YouTube, because I didn't want people to accuse me of using clickbait, or to think that my title was stupid, or that my thumbnail was dumb, or that my YouTube video idea was dumb. And I've gotten to this place where I don't fucking care. For the longest time in my life, I would not even leave my house without my makeup on, but I just uploaded videos without my makeup on, like literally barefaced. I just got to this place where I could literally give two fucking shits anymore what people fucking think. I used to care so much if people would think I'm ugly. I'm at this place now where I'm like, and what does that do? We're all going to the same place, and that's the dirt. We're all in this life together. I feel like I spent so much of my life worrying about what everyone else was thinking, and I'm just at this place where it's like, I know I'm a good person, I know that I have great intentions, I know that I'm always trying to be better, so I am done giving a fuck about the peddly, stupid fucking shit anymore. Like, I'm done caring about things that just don't matter. I'm done being concerned with things that don't make me happy, and I'm done with anybody that makes me feel like they're judging me in a negative way. You guys see how small she is? She's so little. I found her outside when we lived in our apartment. It was funny, I went outside to go for a drive, and I opened the door and I see this little cat sitting on the top stairs, because we lived on the second floor. It was actually on Thanksgiving that we found her, and she was sitting on the steps, and I opened the door, and she like literally, we always say that Luna screams, because she does. She does not meow, she literally yells at the top of her lungs. And so I open the door and she looks at me and she just screams, meows, and then takes off down the stairs, and I'm like, oh my God, another stray cat. Like, that's what like I initially thought, was it's just another stray cat, because we already had so many stray cats there. So I don't know what it was about Luna. Like, you guys can see, she's a generic cat. Like, she's the cat that's on the Meow Mix bag. She's the cat in all the commercials. She's generic. She's not the one that most people would pick out. If you had like a white fluffy cat or Luna, you'd probably go with the white fluffy cat, you know what I mean? Like, she's generic physically, but her personality is anything but generic. But anyways, She ran all the way down the stairs and she went and hid under a car. And I go to my car, I open the door, I get inside, I sit down, and I'm hearing in my head, like, go get that cat some food. That cat is hungry. She acted really scared. I don't know what I was thinking, but she just seemed so scared and she was so small. I just felt like, oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna go get this cat some food. So I march my ass back up the stairs, go in my apartment, get some food, bring it out to her. She will not come do it. So I take the food and I throw it underneath the car at her. And as soon as she hears like the food pebbles like hitting the cement, she runs over to them and starts eating them like crazy, eats every single freaking drop. And this cat that was terrified, would not let me pick her up, would not let me touch her, was now literally being held by me and just literally clinging onto my chest. And I carried her upstairs back into the apartment, and she's been our cat ever since. We actually were gonna get rid of her. We were gonna like get her cleaned up, take her to the vet, get her fixed, and then we were gonna give her away, but we just never made the calls. She just ended up being our cat, and I am so thankful we have Luna. Anyways, pointless cat story in there, but I saw Luna and I thought about it. I do think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I truly don't even know if this video is gonna go up. It feels essentially pointless because I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking, I'm rambling, a bunch of shit you guys already know, probably a bunch of crap that you guys don't care about, but I always get comments from you guys saying you just really like that I've been uploading a lot lately, that you've been really enjoying hanging out with me, that you've been enjoying my videos. So I'm like, well, if they're enjoying it and they like it, I might as well just sit down and do a chat video and upload it, because I need to upload more. Obviously, Mark lost his job. I need to kind of be working on my channel like 10 times more than I was prior, so I'm gonna upload a lot. Realistically, I can't upload every day, but in my mind, I wanna be able to upload every day, but it's probably not gonna happen, but I do have to get like multiple videos up a week. I'm gonna be filming for my Patreon more. It's just really hard to think of like content for Patreon and also for both my channels. It's really difficult, but I do have a Patreon if you guys are interested in that down below and would like to show support. It is not required. It's just for people that like supporting me. I know that there's people that just like being a part of it just to help. So if you guys are interested in that, it is linked down below, but you definitely do not have to. And I do have an Etsy shop, but my friends were so amazing that as soon as they heard that Mark lost his job, they went and bought like everything out. So I'm gonna get that stocked back up, but if you guys are interested, go check it out and see if there's anything that you fancy. Just know that if you do purchase anything from my store, everything is coming from a sanitary environment with 2 people that literally aren't going fucking anywhere. We're good to go. But I know that maybe some people don't want to be getting mail right now. I don't know. Just know that if you order from me, it's coming from a sanitary, safe environment from people who are not sick. So yeah, I don't know what else to say, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. I don't know, maybe it was boring, whatever. But if you did make it all the way here, please give it a thumbs up, because it literally helps my channel out when you guys share my content, when you like my videos, when you comment. It helps me out more than you guys know. If you guys watch this video all the way through, you know that we like to leave emojis down in the comments, because it lets me know who are my kings and my queens, the people who watch my video from beginning to end. So today, the emoji that I would like you guys to leave is your favorite colored heart. But I'll see you guys down in the comments, hopefully. I love you guys so much, and I will see you very soon.